Good morning, beauties. Can you see that star up there? Is this the morning star? It is so bright. Wow. Hi, beauties. Since you always see the view from our garden, I thought today I show you a little bit further. So today I've been really brave, and I am more or less, let's say, 500 meters from home, just to let you see the landscape. Very beautiful here. Up there you can even see the mountain tops, but it's a bit of a shame that there's so much fog and mist. But still, this is one of our rare neighbors, their house. This is a little road that we come and go. And yeah, this is Western Styria in the south of Austria. Okay guys, see you at the table. Okay beauties, it's another day, and I just stopped again to show you what was missing. What was missing last time. The mountain tops, they were covered in mist. Today it's better. The neighbor's rooster. So this is a lot of snow up there, but I'm still standing here with a t-shirt. Okay, see you on the table. Hi beauties, welcome back at Lady Paper Moons. I'm totally overwhelmed from this morning star that I've seen. And since I didn't really know what that was, I was doing some Googling and found out that this was supposed to be Venus. And she was just almost as big as the moon. The moon wasn't visible at the time, so I couldn't make any footage of the moon in comparison. But it was so beautiful. I've never seen nothing like that. Today we're making some jelly prints using some of our Matisse shapes. This one or that one. And I will show you in a minute. I've been doing some printing yesterday for the first time using my mini plate. This is basically, it's the smallest jelly print plate that you can get. And yesterday after the last print, it got completely clean because everything came off. Pulling the last pull, all came off. Because normally I'm one of those who does not clean the jelly plates because I do want these leftovers. And then if you make a pull, then sometimes accidentally the rest will come off and make some beautiful effects, really. I'll show you later. And I did some cutting out, simple shapes as always. This is supposed to be some like herbs or don't know, natural form or shape. We have a little sunshine in here now, which is good. It's a good thing now. So this is supposed to be grasses. This is very simple bird shape. What else we got? Okay, the little house. And I finally decided to use plastic sheets to cut out my forms, my shapes. Because in paper they soak a lot, and if they are on the jelly plate for too long, they will definitely get stuck and it's hard to get them off the paint. So I don't like touching the plastic so much, but I still did them on plastic. They just last longer. Cat. Because last time I liked a lot the figure, this one, that came out so cool, and I decided to make another one. Looks like this. So this is what we're going to print today. Put them to the side for a minute. And I show you now what I did yesterday. Get you guys a little closer, like so, yeah. Here you can see some leftovers, how beautiful they come out. The sun is shining in so hard at the moment that I can't see my display, what I'm actually filming. I hope this is all right. This is made on stone paper, which I love. It never tears, and it's a very special kind of paper, stone paper. Makes no bubbles. It's a very soft, velvety surface to the touch, beautiful. And on my plate, I cannot do the Islamic writing and scripture with some metal tool, but I use some other tools for it. And I use these as brayers, small one or the wider one. Because this is what I use, see? These rubber brushes. Yes, I know, they should be cleaned up after using. But in the battle of jelly printing, I get so carried away. I have no time to really make them clean again. But all the dried up paint, as you can see, is not a good idea because they will lose their crisp shape in mark making. So now, and we have a lot of prints as always, because this is the danger of jelly printing. One time you get started, it's very addictive. Let's put it that way. So we have a Matisse shape, another Matisse. This is on tea dyed paper, by the way. And it's good that we have many, because that way we can, this is some candy paper, I just glued it on. If you have many prints, then it's easy to pick out the best ones for our art book, which I still haven't prepared. I prefer the jelly printing part at the moment. This one, here is some lace I put on the plate, another Matisse. More lace. Some goddess scripture. Here is many layers, as you can see. It looks very interesting. I love it. This is watercolor paper. And these sturdy ones, like this one, is like a 300 GSM or mixed media strong paper. You can use just straight away as a postcard. Just put your text, put a stamp, and off it goes. Normally they're clean on the back. This one is not clean. I went over with the brayer, but normally they're clean on the back side and can be used as postcard really straight away. Here we have some complementary contrasting, which I love these two very much. They came out just beautifully, especially because they're only partially printed. Love it. It's a good one too. Oh, that's a good idea. Let's put it that way. Just make sure if you cut out your forms, like in summer, we prefer leaves and nature pieces, but these self-cut out pieces, they are just as beautiful. This is a double or triple print, which is a mixture out of the figure, and here I'm showing the calligraphy paper. Is awesome for printing, by the way, and then you can use it for collaging. It's really, I love using it. Doesn't say what material it is out of, but I think it's mulberry paper, which is my most favorite paper. I love mulberry trees so much. It's a super food, by the way, mulberries. And you see this one, you can see the Matisse shapes. This is a paper shape. And so you can see some of the shapes are left and the figure, and they melt together, and it's like very interesting. This is more a subtle one, but beautiful. We have Islamic writing in the background. And here you see these typical leftovers from previous prints. This one also. It's just gorgeous, so yummy. There's a powerful print here. You can use any kind of plastic foil that you find, right? The more sturdy it is, the better. This one, for instance, is very flimsy. That's hard to cut, hard to handle. But there are more sturdy ones, and sometimes they come in packaging, so don't throw them away. They are just perfect for shape cutting. They're more durable. I still don't like touching the plastic so much, and it's kind of hard to cut out because it's so see-through, but it's okay. It's working. The ones I cut out of paper, they still worked okay. This time they didn't even rip. So, and maybe I should try stone paper, because stone paper is not ripping at all. I will try next time. And the advantage of using plastic foil for your shapes is naturally that you just put your foil on top of any image you like, and you can just draw around, because you can see your shape 100% through the plastic, and you can just take your marker and go around. So you don't have to invent something, you don't have to draw yourself. If you don't want to, just pick a magazine or any bird shape out of a book, and then you can just trace around, and this is so easy. Everybody can do it. This is mulberry paper, the rough one. This one also, beautiful print. This one looks like a landscape, very beautiful. And this is just packing paper. And I love it. It's so, I don't know, it's cool. I wasn't well prepared before I started the printing session, because in order to do that, I should have made more. This is a beautiful one. I should have cut more small papers. And this you can do also. Your painting books or your drawing books, just print on top. It looks cool. And I love to use the small plate, because we have the whole frame we see all around. I don't have to cut into this. I can always show the whole print as a whole. Yeah. And this, if you find that boring, you can still print another shape on top, like a bird. And voila, another double spread for the art journal. And the effect that makes the monoprint so beautiful is an effect we cannot get with the paintbrush or sponge or any other technique. It's a special effect to it. This is a beautiful one. I love that. There's a lot going on. This one also. Here I just crinkled the paper first, and then I flattened it out just slightly, and then I printed on top. And see how beautiful. I love using this packaged paper so much. Look how beautiful they are. And this I found, there was some background already done with crayons, and I'll show you. This background is so easy to get. Just look around the house. You will find more items than you ever think that have like a surface like this one, like an embossed type of surface, or some walls are beautiful, or some tiles on the floor. It depends on what you have, but there's so many possibilities, really. Or the plates where you put, if you have children, the Lego plates to do the constructions on top. Also, they are perfect for doing this. And you can use any kind of crayon you have. When Elia was still going to school, we are free learners now, so he gets educated at home. But when he still was going to school, his art teacher once wanted us to make the frottage. This is how you call it, frottage samples with normal pencil. And we found so much. Like this one is not good to use because it's bended, it's a round surface, but there's structure everywhere where you can find structure, or wooden board, or the placemats for the table where you put your plate on top. You will find, I'm sure you will find. Then I found this figure I painted with ink, and I just printed on top. I was running out of pre-sized papers for the small jelly plate, so I just printed on anything I could grab. This is done with inks on the Japanese paper. And this is also done the frottage technique. And I'm sure you can come up with a lot of stuff. And then if you have it done, you can do it with pencil or crayons or color pencils. Just do some experimenting, and then when you have it done and you find it boring still, then you can put your print on top of this or glue something on top of this or make an envelope out of it for your journal. So many possibilities. And if you don't have a jelly plate, before you go now and run and get more art supplies, or you're not sure if you want to have this, then you just take a plastic sheet and put some water down and put, like this one for instance, just put some watercolor down, glue it on the desk to hold it in place, and then you just put paint on, some pigment, some water, spread it all around, and then take any piece of paper and put it down like so and pull it, and then you have a print which is very similar to any jelly print. I mean, it's not really a difference. So you can try that first. And I was going to find me some more paper in my stash, because yesterday, as I said, I haven't prepared enough small pieces of paper, and then in the battle of jelly printing, I could not prepare paper, and so this morning I took time to find a collection of paper. Yellow one. This is like a little bit like canvas. This is papier paille. Paille paper? I don't know. I don't know. There is some fibers visible there, but it doesn't say anything, and I have it so many years. I don't know, but I will make this in smaller pieces. It's an A4, so I think I will make 4 pieces. Here is another one. I don't know what it is. It's a handmade paper, but I bought it. It's very thin. The handmade paper I did myself is always thick. I could never get it to be that thin. And you can use your wet brush to not to have the sharp edge, but more like a deckled edge, the calligraphy typical edging. And what else we got? This is some wrapping paper. I don't know what it is really. Graph paper. This is more heavy, more sturdy. This is I dyed this one myself with, I think, a wash from acrylic wash. A pink one also. This is just pink paper. Don't know what to say. I have no idea where it's from. Yellow, red. And what's cool about these papers, normally I don't like them too much, but they have such a solid color to it. They are so regularly dyed, so there's no shadows in there, is no nothing in there. It's just a plain pure color, and for the Matisse shapes I think come handy. Just showing the sponge, because one of the cats is always eating the sponge. He doesn't swallow the pieces, but he destroys them more or less. Black is always cool also. There's 2 kinds of black. The one that's on top now is black, And this is also black, but in comparison it looks like gray. And it's more flimsy. I have no idea what kind of paper that is. Looks grayish now. And these things from the binding, this is manila cardboard something. Okay, rose and yellow. Then the Japanese paper, we will use this for sure. And then here I'm cleaning my brayer, and this is a 300 GSM watercolor paper. You can use mixed media paper also, but you can use thin paper, middle paper, thick paper, all you want. Fabric, all you want. And if you use flimsy paper, the layers of acrylic paint that you print on top will make it more sturdy also. And this one is like a very, I don't really like kind of lace. It's out of plastic basically. And they have it at the Chinese shops sometimes. But it works absolutely great to glue it on top of your canvas or your substrate and then paint over it. For this, they are perfect. Other than that, I don't like so much. So, first thing I will do now is have a cup of tea and then check what size I need these papers. I will tear them all. So some of them will have a straight edge and a deckled edge to them, but I don't mind that. And on an A4 we get 4 prints. Yeah, that's cool. Most of it, well, the small bits not, but most of the pieces are A4 format, so that's good. And a piece like this, we don't have to tear it up. We can use it like that. We just fold it like so. And the 2 holes, we take a little ribbon and make a bow. And then put the print there. And done. Another page for our art journal. So I will bring everything to the right size now, which will take a while because it's quite a stack. So the first print I did, the eye didn't come out, see that? This is a kind of red-orange, which to me is just orange. And if you have a closer look at your paints, you will see they always show you how opaque or how transparent they are. Because sometimes it's good to have a transparent paint to make visible what's underneath, and sometimes we want to cover what's there already, and then we use more opaque paints. And I was really busy. Look what I did. Good girl. I brought everything to size, and this is quite a lot of paper now. And this is the leftovers of the die cut machine. We can use them for printing as well. This is the negative shapes now, but you can use your positives, absolutely. They will make beautiful effects. Embossed paper, we will try this one. I don't know how it will turn out. There's another embossing. And then we have some more book pages, because we have a lot of book pages, don't we? And here I put some gesso on top. That's a yummy one. So take down the birdie. And here we have some leftover paint. And we could make a pour straight away, but that won't work really well. So we make it dry. And this is quick. The drying is quick because the layer of paint that's left now on the jelly plate is so thin that by a blink of an eye it will be dried. And but no heat tools here, please. The jelly doesn't like heat. And then we can go over with another layer of paint and just decide for color. Let's take white. And the bird is dry now, but the color we use now, the paint, the fresh paint, will melt together with the leftover paint, with the dry paint. And that's a little paint. Maybe we take some more. Yeah, I think. Bit more white, please. That's better. And doing your printing, you instantly get a feel for the quality of your acrylic paints. Some are just awesome. Then there are others, the cheap ones, they have no pigments really. They slide around and they don't do anything good, but then to have some effects, they can still be used. So use them all up and then you find out. It takes a lot of paint, jelly printing, basically. I don't know why, because the layers are so thin, but still we need a lot of paint. You can use a sprayer if you want, but I prefer do it like this. So I can feel the jelly plate underneath. And now, if we're lucky, the bird is coming with the fresh paint. Does it? Yeah. Was not much left, see? But the eye is showing this time. And if you basically like the print, then when it's dry, you can still work on it with some crayon or color pencil or watercolor. Well, watercolor is not really sticking to acrylic paint so well, but it can be done, or inks. So let's take this one. That's not my color, guys, that's not. But we have to move outside our comfort zones a little bit, so let's do that. On the right hand side, I'm cleaning the prayer. See, this is more fluid. You can instantly tell. And just make it clean. And now I thought, let's try one of the new shapes we cut out. This one, for instance. And I'll make sure to put it somewhat straight on there. Not well done, not well done. Should have been further down, but okay, it's only paper, no problem. What you can do as well, you can make a print, a uni-color print, and then print on top of it. It's okay though. Yeah, it's not bad. Get that off. So. Let's put a little bit more white. You can play here. You don't have to think. Just grab any color. Grab any color and just put it on top and see what happens. There's many surprises and it's just such a great fun to do that. I love that. I can pass hours and hours and hours in jelly printing. Just love it so much. and going slow and being aware, taking time and just combining colors, choosing the acrylic colors on one hand side and then choosing the color paper on the other, and just, I don't know, it's a very good kind of work to do. I love it. And so now let's see. Like so. It's a little bit boring though, but still could be used. You could cut out the shapes now and use them for a tag or for some embellishments. And you see there's slightly the shape left on the plate now, and this time I decide not to dry it. Either it melts with the purple paint or it doesn't. We'll see. Just be very easy on it all. And this is where I clean my prayer, and this is a good paper then to use also. You can tell this is not a bad but not a very good paint. It's quite transparent. It's semi-transparent, by the way. Now, try this again. This time, please put it further down, like so. Yeah, perfect. So now, yellow would be good. It's complementary to purple. And we'll see what comes out. Just take your time. Using the brayer is optional. As I said before, you don't have to. And now, yeah. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So for sure we have leftovers here now from underneath the stencil. And I thought I will do some printing now, and I just take you along, speeding up a bit, so you don't have to wait every time until I dried and until I choose colors and so on. And in the end of the video, I will show you all we did. And just for those of you who are new to the channel, thank you very much for being with me. And if you haven't subscribed so far, please do. That will help the channel. And for all of you who would like to support Lady Paper Moon and me and my work, there is Patreon installed for you guys. So if you want to make any contributions, that would be just awesome. Thank you. it's about time to finish this session. I was always, sometimes in between the prints, I was pushing pause on the camera because I've been standing now like 2 or 3 hours altogether. But I love it. I love it. And now I will do this one. And as you could see, I always had the little papers, bigger papers, smaller papers, and they get so yummy just from cleaning up the brayer. Now I'm looking for, okay, maybe some embellishment here. And I'm looking for a sheet to print this on. Like so. Oh, let's try. Let's try the craft paper. And then the embossed ones, we have to give it a try, as we said. We make an embossing one, okay? And then one other thing, and then it's done. Now let's see. Okay, yeah, beautiful. And sometimes, as you could see, whenever I take the wet sponge, I just want to get rid of the contours of the previous print. Normally I don't clean the whole jelly plate, but there's significant pieces of shape of the previous pattern. If I don't want it on the next one, or I think it will be disturbing or something, then I clean it off. Otherwise I won't ever clean. And I I taped the jelly plate onto the yellow paper. The yellow paper helps me to find my position, how to put my papers on top, not to be all too crooked. And then the yellow paper I glued on top of the underpaper, the white paper. This one I taped on the surface here in the studio. Oh my god, did that make sense now? I don't know. So now take some white. If I'm now taking the white paint to print on the white embossing paper, that doesn't make a lot of sense now, does it? But this is not the point. I don't want really the effect now on the embossed paper, but I like to have a good negative shape result. You'll see in a minute. So just put the raised surface on the bottom. Even though this kind of paper, this is like a cream color or some off-white color, but there cannot be any effect. And now, very carefully, I'm trying not to push too hard because the paint will wet the embossed paper, and then I will flatten the embossing. We will lose the effect then maybe. So I would just slightly, very carefully. And now let's see. This is what we want to see on the plate. This is what I was going for. Here you don't see much, even though it looks better than before, not as clean, more artsy. And this I will dry now. Another experiment. I thought about putting paint now on the dry pattern. But what if I want to have the white on a black piece of paper? So we have to lift that color somehow, which has dried now. So I'm just taking acrylic binder. Acrylic binder is nothing else than just acrylic paint without any pigment. But I've never tried to use it on the jelly plate, so this is the first time and I don't know if it's going to be working. So I don't know if it's very liquid, see, because there's no pigments in there. It's just the binding medium, if you so wish. And we'll see. And the acrylic binder is what we use for making professional collage on canvases, or even I work whole furniture pieces. I do everything with acrylic binder, the matte one. There's a glossy one also you can get, but the matte one. And it's not sticky afterwards, never ever. So I don't really know why everybody using Mod Podge, which stays kind of sticky sometimes. Just take acrylic binder and you're good to go, and it's eternal. What you glue down with acrylic binder, you will have for just like ever. Now keep your fingers crossed. Hold your breath, because I don't know if it's working. I let it sit a minute longer and show you this doily. It's a crochet doily, which you can also use for making some nice patterns on the jelly print. And then in the end I just wash it out with cold water, because it gets so stiff and sturdy from the dried paint. And now I hope the acrylic binder has picked up the paint. And see this photograph? This is any kind of images we have all around us, from magazines, from junk mail, from whatever, your own paintings that didn't come out as the way you wanted them. And we can do something with those too. This is the last thing for today we do. But now, I hope this is good now. It feels much wetter. There's much more moisture for the binder not having pigments. But I think that's now good, huh? This is a paint which is, and this one also, these are very cheap paints. And they are liquid also, very liquid, because they have no pigments. And now I hope it looks good already. I have to take my time now to not. Now it's done. This came loose there. Look, this is what we wanted. This is absolutely beautiful. So yes, it does work. The acrylic binder. Wonderful. Wonderful. So if you don't know what to do with your embossed papers, you can not only use them for everything in the art journal, you can use them for jelly printing, see? And now let's have a look at how we can make any image beautiful, any image. Postcards you have that you don't like, old wrapping paper that's not doing the job because you just don't like the colors or the patterns or whatever. The only thing you have to think now, just don't take a very, very opaque color, because the paint, if it's so opaque, then the image won't show through then anymore. and we want it to show through, but to be completely altered by the print we put on top. What I'm interested in on this picture from a magazine is the trees. That little path and the water, not so much, but the upper part, the sky and the trees, the winter trees, I love a lot. And you will see how it all changes. And it becomes art in comparison to what it was before. To me, a useless piece, which I've never put in an art journal. Never. But now, look. Now just imagine the right and left hand sides cut off and just look at the printed part. The paint could have been even more transparent or translucent, but it's okay. I like it. I have another piece, this one. But the way it is, it doesn't speak to me at all. I would never use it. Never. But printing on top? Yeah, why not? We'll see. Yeah, as I said, the way it is for me personally is useless, but then we see what we can do. Let's take this kind of green here. And this is also a cheap color, cheap paint. And I'm not complaining about cheap paints because you can use them to your advantage also, no problem. You can still make a lot of cool effects with them. And this is sliding a lot here. And what we have to take into consideration is that acrylic paints, basically, all they are is plastic. Acrylic paint is plastic. Liquid plastic is nothing more, nothing less. And I personally, I prefer oil paints, but acrylic paints are an excellent medium for us to work in the studio and to make our effects and to create our journal pages and our paintings, and it's a good thing to have. And one thing I wanted to tell you about the brayer, this one, I know I always use it, but it's crap. The brayer part, the roll itself is excellent, but the distance between the handle part here and the roll is not wide enough. So from rolling and rolling and rolling over and over again with the paint, this part here becomes thicker and thicker, and every little now and then I have to free it from the dried paint because it leaves marks. And this one is much better. See how wide the distance is? Or even the small one is enough room and space between the rubber and the handle. And I just use this. I don't know why I use this still. I love it. But it's crap. I don't know. It's like that. And this is the only paint that's on there. It's so clean still. When we were making the moon on the print with the man. Now I'll crinkle up some paper, but this paper is too thick. I don't like it. Don't we have anything else? Just like more soft. This one is good. The Japanese paper. Yeah, just give it a good crinkle, and then don't flatten it out too much, just put it on top. And this way we partially lift off paint. And now we see how that looks on the landscape photograph. And you can still use more things. You could put ribbons or string or twine, anything, rubber bands, whatever things you have, you just put them, as long as they are flat, put them on the jelly plate. First put paint, then put anything you can get a hold on that's flat, and then put your paper on top and wipe it, and then pull off and see what happens. And I still prefer, in summertime, I prefer the greens and the leaves and the grasses and everything from the garden. But be careful, because when grasses are the worst. When they bloom, they leave the little bits on a jelly plate, and it's a pain to get them off. See, that looks better now. That looks like an impressionist painting from a useless piece of magazine image. And this is what we took off. See, that's also cool. So that was it, darlings. We were very busy today. Studio looks like crazy. It's all a mess. And thank you for being with me again. I really appreciate your company so much, and I have so much fun being with you. And as I said before, don't forget to subscribe, or maybe you want to share the video, that would be cool too. And a thumbs up would be cool. And for those who want to support me, please check out on Patreon. You'll find me, or there's a little icon on the right hand upper side of my page, so you will find it. Love you all. Thank you so much. See you soon.